All right, students. For the stormwater pollution prevention plan, first things first, I'm going to ask you to draw the details to scale, including all the notes. You guys pick your line weights, line types, just match it as much as you can. Once again, draw it to scale, which means it is not going to look like this. It's going to look way different. I do want it to be drawn in an isometric view wherever that's necessary. Some of these other notes, and even this actually has an error in this one, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. It's just this CAD file is actually pretty bad. This one has an error in it, so I want you guys to see it. I already saw it. This isometric is also not drawn very well, so I want you guys to draw it correctly in an isometric. The silt fence needs to be drawn up. Construction fence also to scale, and then all these notes. Okay. Now, as far as the plan itself, we do have a paper space, model space, viewport, and all that. So in model space, all we're really going to do is xref in the x site and the x topo. So we're going to xref that in. Okay, we're going to xref in the x site and x topo. And another way of drawing, we'll go ahead and do. I'll have you do it this way for this one particular drawing, is how we're going to draw in the line work and the polyline. Okay. Usually, we actually draw them in model space. So you can. But in this case, I want you to draw it differently in that I want you to draw it on top of the viewport. What I mean by that is you're going to have a viewport by itself with just the xref of the x side and x topo. On top of the viewport is where you're going to draw in your text, your symbols, your hatch patterns, all these little symbology over here, arrows. We do need to put in some flow arrows. All of that is going to be drawn on top of the viewport in from model space. Okay, so that's another way of drawing these CAD files. A lot of this information, my preference is actually to put all of this in model space, where you draw in here the staging area and the flow arrows and all that. But in this case, I want you to draw it on top of paper space. So you once again, this information is what you're going to be drawing in. I'm going to move it out of the way. So you're going to start with a view like this with your viewport. Okay. You're going to start with your viewport, and on top of the viewport is where you're going to draw in the information for the arrows, the polylines for the silt fence, the trailer staging area notes, and all that. The notes with text, labels, leaders for your construction fencing. Okay. So that's going to be just drawn right on top of the paper space and model space. Okay. I'm going to let you once again figure out the sizes of your text is going to be pretty much 0.08 size text. It looks like here they made this one a little bit thicker, so they basically just changed this to a cyan color, so they'll plot a little bit thicker, because the importance of this plan is to show the stormwater pollution prevention methods. So the important thing will be to draw in the fence. Okay, to draw in the fence, you're gonna have to draw basically a line and arc, and then just draw in a little text of an X, and then copy it into place at a nice even increment. Okay, and then the width of the polyline is what I will share with you, just to kind of give you an idea how wide to make it. The width of the polyline, go to our properties. They're using color number 244. And that one has a polyline width of, oh, there is no global width. Interesting. So it varies. Very interesting. So I guess I'll have to go measure it. The width of the polyline is 0.08 also. Okay. So I guess that global width, they're using a 0.08 global width. Okay. So that's the width of the polyline. That represents the silt fence. The cyan line with the X represents the chain link fence. Okay. And then I'm going to have you guys draw these in on your own, but it's just another way of just representing a fancy arrow. We could have just put a simple arrow with a leader, but I want you guys to draw something up like this to make it look a little bit more presentable. The little hatch pattern, also color number 244, which if you go by their pen settings, it'll be shaded. And then you'll put a little note in here, basically just copying this. I'll make you PDFs and put this on the on the Google Class share right now, so you can have the PDF document of it. You guys are going to sit here and create the CAD file from it. Okay. So you just use your title sheet. Okay, use your title sheet. We can put in the text and all that stuff for the legal title for the stormwater pollution prevention plan. And there you go. Okay, so I thought about making you little blocks of all this stuff, but guess what? I think I want you guys to do that on your own. That's what I want you guys to do on your own, and basically finalize really your CAD skills, because you need to learn or remember your CAD skills on how to draw text, leaders, a little box, a little hatch pattern for the stabilized entrance, which is basically a gravel pattern. Um, so all this information that I'm telling you verbally, I need you to then create a CAD file, and we're going to call it our stormwater or SW3P. And I will be giving you, I'll put the deadline on the Google Classroom in a few minutes.